Let's tell you that in our rugged history, women or female criminals had never stolen the headlines. But in contemporary Nigeria, where anything or everything is possible, female criminals and gangsters are raising national adrenaline. A female crime suspect, 38-year-old Nvou Michael, I hope I got that right, was paraded in Abuja by the police on Thursday. The Plateau State-born Mrs. Michael, a notorious gun runner, was nabbed along the Saminaka-Jos road with 15 rifles and 400 rounds of ammunition. Nvou confessed to supplying arms and ammunition to terrorists in Nigeria's northwest and north central. Elsewhere, terrorists have kidnapped 46 persons in the Kachia local government area of Kaduna State on Thursday. The battle is on.
People need to know the extent of culpability of women.
Yeah.
Crime knows no barriers, no gender. As Two-Face sang, nobody holy pass. Women no holy pass. Men no holy pass. In Kano, I witnessed the execution by firing squad of a woman for the first time, and that's the only time that I think that happened in the history of our country. A woman tied to the stakes, yes, along with her son, and fired for robbery. That was in Kano in the mid 90s. I did a story for Tempo on that occasion. So even the bandits operating in the northwest, many women had been arrested, funneling petrol to them because they need petrol desperately
to move around.
Yes, their bikes, their motorbikes need petrol desperately. We saw a woman who concealed petrol in a travel bag, and she was taking it to the bandits. There are women who supply them bread and other things, even soft drinks. They do not.
Or would you believe it? There are women who supply them women too.
Who supply themselves. A woman not only supplied herself, but also supplied her daughter.
Crazy.
That story, that story, you see, because these guys pay a premium. They don't come into the city frequently. So all that they need, if you can guarantee that you can supply them all that they need, whether it is ammunition or they will pay you
handsomely,
and you will be happy. So for that reason, and as I always say, any line of business with a huge profit margin, Nigerians will die to get involved in it. They know that, look, supplying these guys will make them happy. Their pockets will begin to budge. So because of that, more and more people are sabotaging the efforts of the armed forces by going to supply the things that these fellows want.
Even at the risk of losing their lives.
Yes, and you know, people will feel that, okay, it's a woman, she must have escaped so many checkpoints.
Yeah.
You know, you get to a checkpoint, you smile at the policemen, they allow you go. Because they think you are a woman, you are the weaker sex. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. They are getting involved in crime. Somebody showed me the wife of, one of the wives of Tuji, Kachala Tuji. Extremely beautiful young girl. Maybe between 18 to 22.
You go for ugly woman.
No, with the funds at his disposal, funds that you can only see in your dream.
Yeah.
Of course, he will have access to the most beautiful women around.
BC, you know, women and crime, violent crime are not synonymous. But in my country, your country, they say anything is possible.
Well, I think statistically, more men still commit crime. And because I did my own PhD research on crime reportage, and I look at the demography of women versus men.
Yeah.
A lot of men are involved. But as he rightly put it, because fewer women are involved in violent crimes, the tendency for them to escape arrest or suspicion is higher.
Yeah.
For example, this woman now riding a white car, beautiful car. You wouldn't even imagine that such a person.
A pretty woman.
Yeah. I looked at her picture, not necessarily pretty,
not ugly.
But at least a car.
Okay, what is pretty to you?
Okay,
what is not pretty to you may be so ravishingly pretty in his own reckoning.
Okay.
Leave my eyes alone, but go on.
So what I'm trying to say is that you see somebody in such a car, and you don't expect women ordinarily to be that debased as to
except watching them on films. You hardly look at an African woman, nay, Nigerian woman, handling a gun and firing.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's strange. It's strange. Yeah. But I remember also that last year, in the same Kaduna, a woman in hijab was also arrested for supplying guns.
That's it.
Yeah, to terrorists and the rest. So I think we should focus more on women now, particularly in that part of the country. Yes. Because if from what I read, they even go through commercial vehicles, they pack their guns inside bags and the rest. And you can just imagine, even if police have to stop commercial buses, is it the bag of women that they are likely to be searching? They won't subject them to thorough yes.
That's why Chad banned the hijab.
Okay, yeah.
You know, at the peak of their war against Boko Haram, they banned the hijab because they knew that even a man could actually wear an hijab and you will not know. Yeah. We've seen people pretend to be, you know. So once you see our culture abhors ill treatment of the woman.
That's it.
When you start frisking a woman thoroughly, culturally, people will frown at it.
So, you know,
yes, people will frown at it.
That's it.
You know, and in northern Nigeria, people do not joke with the sanctity of their women. They don't joke with the sanctity of their women. You can imagine someone seeing his wife being frisked, different parts of the body being touched and all that by a man. Of course his blood will boil. So to that extent, a lot of these women get away. They work for bandits, they work for terrorists, and they get away. Even in the Northeast, many women had been arrested, collaborators arrested for working with Boko Haram.
Based on information.
Yes. So when people do not want to believe that it's possible for a woman to go to that length of selling weapons, of funneling weapons to terrorists and all that, you are bound to allow him to get away at different checkpoints. You won't give him the attention that you give a male suspect. And that's why they are getting away with it.
BCR, you know, this will open a new vista, a totally new vista now for security folks. I think they should just pay more attention to them. But then the cultural issue, how do we handle it? Because security, cultural? Yes, exactly. Security, cultural, because that cultural factor is very real, particularly in the northern parts of the country. So I also think that we should embark on probably enlightenment campaigns, and maybe female police or security officers could also be included to do the search and ensure that even if you're a female person will also, because we're living in interesting times, and in the name of security, nothing must be allowed to go under the carpet. Okay then. Basically, this talk about equality with men, I don't know how women manage more.